Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome along to the commentary hub here for some more FA Cup coverage. But this time around, we've got the Women's FA Cup for you. It was the men yesterday, but it's the ladies that are taken to the stage today to see whether it's going to be Arsenal or Chelsea women who are able to lift the cup. We're going to hand you over to your match commentator now. We've around about 10 minutes to go until kickoff. We've got Nicholas Jones in position. So, Nicholas, first of all, how are the two sides looking this afternoon?
A very good afternoon to you, Mike. Arsenal's formation is a 4-3-3 with no changes. Chelsea are a 3-4-3, and Emma Hayes has only made one change. We'll go through the full lineups very shortly, but in terms of injuries, Tobin Heath and Leah Williamson will not feature for Arsenal due to injury. And as for Chelsea, Pernille Harder and Annick Noren are part of the team, but as substitutes, having recently recovered from injury, and Mara Mjelde has recovered from a knee injury, but does not feature.
So thank you for that, Nicholas. And I'm sure it's going to be a cracking FA Cup tie. There was just a couple of things there that we were just talking about a moment ago before we went live as well. And I'll leave that into your capable hands to mention those.
Thanks very much. On this day, 100 years ago, women's football was banned as women were deemed, quote unquote, unsuitable to play. And the ban lasted for 50 years, rescinded in 1971. But according to other sources I've been reading, a ban at league grounds wasn't lifted until the early 1980s. It's also the 50th anniversary of the Women's FA Cup, and the first winners were Southampton. They beat Stuart and Thistle 4-1. And as I speak, both the captains of those teams are going out onto the stadium now and presenting the trophy into the middle of the pitch.
And of course, we were just talking there just a moment ago in regards to Arsenal women there as well. And if that afternoon, I should say, then they'll go one up on the men. The men have won it 14 times, and the women are already level with that. And if it's the red side of London that come out on top in this one, then it'd be the women that have bragging rights.
Yes, they certainly will be. But also keep in mind, if Chelsea win as well, if Chelsea win this one, this will be a domestic treble for them, having already won the 2021 Super League, the Women's Super League, I should say, and also the Women's League Cup of the same season. And should they do so, it'll be the first treble in the modern WSL era.
That's right, and it's going to be a very, very good cup tie because there's two very good sides here. Who would you look at as the standout individuals from both of these two sides? Of course, there's plenty of names on show that could be in for a mention, really.
For Arsenal, I probably have to say Beth Mead. She's right on the button, a regular goal scorer, both at domestic and international level. So she could well be the danger for Arsenal. As for Chelsea, look out for the likes of Frank Kirby, Sam Kerr, and also don't discount Jessie Fleming. But also for Arsenal, keep an eye out for Vivienne Miedema, the Euro 2017 winner with the Netherlands. She's very dangerous when she's on the attack.
Absolutely, and Vivian, I've watched a little bit of this Arsenal women's side in recent games, and obviously Viv Miedema has all of that quality about her that a lot of Arsenal fans, look at her as the female Dennis Bergkamp, and you can see why.
Yes, absolutely. But I have a feeling this could go either way. But given the star quality of the likes of Beth Mead and and Vivian Miedema and Kim Little. I'm slightly leaning towards Arsenal, slightly.
Okay, and as the two teams are coming out now, the officials as well, and the two management leading their sides out now, we'll go over to Nicholas, and he'll be ready and in position to talk us through the first half. And I'll be back for a little bit of a rundown at half time over what's gone on in the first 45.
Thanks, Mike. So, a nation excited for a final that you would normally see in May, but because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it has been rescheduled to a very cold December. The sun may have gone, but the atmosphere and the action will be as hot as ever. And before the teams come out, I'm just going to quickly go through our match officials. Our referee is Helen Conley. Assistant referees Lisa Rashid and Mel Bergin. The fourth official is Emily Heaslip. And the reserve assistant referee is Lauren Impey. And the players now leaving the tunnels as I speak and out onto the pitch at Wembley Stadium for the final of the Vitality Women's FA Cup 2021. Chelsea are wearing their customary blue, and Arsenal will likely be wearing, we'll have to check what Arsenal will be wearing shortly. I think they're either going to be wearing their red and white or their sort of away maroon. I'll have to wait and see. Didn't quite catch them earlier on. We'll check with you shortly. And the players are now gathering around onto the centre of the pitch for the national anthem, which will be sung by Ella Henderson, whom some of our listeners may know was a contestant on the X Factor, finished 6th overall, but has gone on to have a decent music career of her own. Anyway, Chelsea and the fans of Arsenal and Chelsea in force as ever. And the captains of both Stuart and Thistle and Southampton having already made such a wonderful entrance with the trophy already. They're now meeting the players and wishing them luck as ever. Kim Little is the captain of Arsenal, and Magda Eriksson, the Chelsea captain. They're all meet and the Stuart and Thistle captain will check her name around half time, and Jonas Edeval, he's led an absolutely superb Arsenal side throughout the whole of the season. Currently the WSL leaders, but Chelsea wanting to perhaps make a dent in their superiority. I mean, as well as the likes of Kerr and Kirby. Also, don't discount Drew Spence making an entrance as a substitute. Also, look out for Bethany England if she comes on as well. And as for Arsenal, a player that I've got to point out is young Taya Goldie, only 17 years old, and was born the month after Wenger's Invincibles won the 03-04 Premier League season. Anyway, we now pause for the national anthem. The national anthem, beautifully sung by Ella Henderson. And we can now go through the lineups for both Arsenal and Chelsea. Starting with Arsenal, Jonas Eidvall going through for a 4-3-3 formation. Zinsberger in goal. Then we have Marius, Beattie, Wobbenmoy, Catley, Marnham, Volti, Little, the captain, the three midfielders, and the three forwards, Beth Mead, Vivian Wiedemar, and Katie McCabe. Kim Little recently retired from international duty with Scotland, and we'll run through the substitutes in just a moment. And as I've already mentioned, Tobin Heath, the American international, is out with injury, as is Leah Williamson. On to Chelsea now. 3-4-3 formation. Ann-Katrin Berger, the German international, in goal. Then it's Millie Bright, Jess Carter, and Magda Eriksson, the captain, the three defenders. The four midfielders, Erin Cuthbert, Sophie Ingle, Melanie Leopolds, Guro Wrighton, and the three forwards, Jessie Fleming, Sam Kerr, and Fran Kirby. Now I can go through the substitutes for both sides. Lydia Williams is the substitute goalkeeper for Arsenal. Then Taya Goldie, as I've already mentioned. Anna Patton, Victoria Schnaderbeck, Jordan Nobbs, Nikita Paris, Mana Iwabuchi, and Caitlin Ford are the remaining substitutes. For Chelsea, it's Zekira Musovic, Aniek Nurvan, Georgia Fox, Neve Charles, Ji-So Young, Jonna Anderson, Drew Spence, Peniel Harder, and Bethany England. Everyone just now going through the pre-match rituals and also the last-minute warm-ups. As I mentioned just now, don't be too surprised to see Bethany England come on as a substitute. The players on the pitch now going through what tactics they're going to use throughout the game. Arsenal just getting into a last-minute huddle now, breaking away as they head towards goal. I believe as they head towards their positions, I should say. Chelsea, I believe, have just done the same. So whatever happens, we should be in for a cracking final, and one that is bound to go down in history with already what has been happening. And it will be Arsenal to kick us off for the match at Wembley, and we will get underway very shortly. And the players now are having assumed their positions. Conley just making sure that everything is okay, and they take the knee in support for the ongoing stand in the fight against racism. Black Lives Matter, and quite a few players might be sporting rainbow laces in support of the LGBTQ community. And we are underway at Wembley Stadium for the Women's FA Cup final between Arsenal and Chelsea. Chelsea look like they have the early possession, but Arsenal have quickly intercepted. Now it's with Steph Catley. Catley passes, but is blocked by Cuthbert, and a foul early on between Cuthbert and Miedemar. Cuthbert already protesting her innocence. I think she was actually the perpetrator in that. We'll have to have a look at that one again, I'm sure. And it's only 40 seconds in, and the action has already kicked off. Free kick just taken by Arsenal. That was Catley passing to, I think that was Wobbenmoy. No, it wasn't. It was Casey. No, it wasn't. It was McCabe, I think it was. Catley to, now it's back with Chelsea. It's crossing by Leopolds, but quickly dealt with by the Chelsea goalkeeper, Katrin Berger. I think they were doing a sort of a backwards pass to try and confuse Arsenal. But anyway, Arsenal in possession. This is Lossie Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy crosses towards, I think that might try to cross towards Kim Little, but was blocked by Chelsea. Now it's with Frida Marnham, the Norwegian international. Good block there by Jessie Fleming. But it's now gone back to Arsenal, and it's now with Steph Catley. Steph Catley crosses, tries to find Miedemar, but quickly blocked by the Chelsea defence. I think Millie Bright might have been involved in that A good bit of defending. Millie Bright recently appointed England captain after injury to Leah Williamson. Arsenal back in play now. It's with Jessie Fleming for Chelsea. Picked up very well by Frida Marnham, and it's now with Frank Kirby, and straight in there. Chelsea are 1-0 up after 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I did say she'd be one of the top players at Chelsea. She recently scored 100 goals in a match against Birmingham City a couple of weeks ago. Gets a well-deserved hug from Millie Bright. She might not be as tall as some of the other players, but she's certainly mighty. And her opening goal has showed that. Poor defending by Arsenal was what gave us away there. It was a pass by Sam Kerr towards Kirby, who just fired it in to the bottom left-hand corner of the net. No problem. And Manuela Zinsberger, it seems, could do nothing about it. Noelle Maritz was closing down on her, but she didn't tackle her in time to score the opening goal. And as it stands right now, Chelsea lead Arsenal by 1-0. Arsenal need to catch up. Arsenal need to equalise, and quickly. Ingle for Chelsea, and it's now gone to Melanie Leopolds. Cross by, I think that was Eriksson, but it's now out for. But it's now gone up for a throw into Arsenal, and it will be Katie McCabe, by the looks of it, to take the throw. And something has happened to Sam Kerr. I think she might have picked up an injury or something. I think she's hurt her leg or something. The Chelsea physio is now onto the pitch to have a look. What on earth could have happened? What on earth could have caused Sam Kerr to go down all of a sudden? I don't know. But this is what might have happened. It was an attack. It might have been the backwards pass towards Kirby that caused a problem. But we're now just taking a look at Kirby's goal once more. And what a beauty it was. Running across the pitch, punching the air, the delight on her face, clear to see, as is the delight on the Chelsea fans. It seems that I was wrong about slightly shifting towards Arsenal. It looks to me as though Chelsea might have more of a chance as well. Anyway, the physio is now talking to Sam Kerr. She's taking a glug of water just to keep her blood levels flowing and her energy moving. But will Emma Hayes have to make an early substitution in the game? This is something that neither manager wants to. This is something that no manager wants to do, and play has now resumed. McCabe passes, tries to cross, but is quickly blocked off by Chelsea. Now it's Leopolds, and Leopolds has been fouled by Jen Beattie. It's Jen Beattie, I do apologise. The number 5, and the throw-in has been taken by Arsenal. I think that was Beattie who did the throw-in. Let me know in the public comments, please. And it's now Frank Kirby once more, and it's now gone to Sam Kerr. Can she make it 2? No, not quite. Just blocked by Zinsberger, and Magda Eriksson has been fouled by, I think that was Jordan Nobbs. I think Jordan Nobbs might have gotten involved with Sam Kerr, and I can just see that that rain is now starting to fall at Wembley. We'll just have to see what happened. This was the attack. This was the attempt on the second goal. Kerr almost stumbled over a bit. I think she should have picked herself up more quicker. Then she would have had more of a chance at doubling Chelsea's lead. She was a bit slower than Kirby as well. And in actual fact, no, it wasn't Jordan Nobbs. It was Beth Mead. Beth Mead was the one who got involved with Magda Eriksson. Difficult to say who was at fault in this one. I think both of them suffered as a result of the collision. The referee, the fourth official, is now talking to Beth Mead, and Chelsea now once more on the attack towards goal, but quickly dealt with by Arsenal. Throw into Chelsea to be taken by the Norwegian international Guro Reiten, who throws the ball into the 18-yard box, caught by Kerr, but Kerr didn't have enough time to find a way through the Arsenal defence. And a yellow card has been given to Beth Mead as a result of the incident with Magda Eriksson. Just ran straight into her. I think the referee was wrong to give her the yellow card. I think it was just unfortunate that Eriksson happened to get in the way. But a throw-in now given again to Arsenal, and it'll be Noelle Maritz to take the throw, the Swiss international. She throws to Marnham. Now it was almost picked up by, I think that might have been Beth Mead, yes it was, but throw-in given again towards Arsenal, and Arsenal are indeed wearing their home strip of the red top with the white sleeves. Throw-in given to Chelsea. Well caught by, I think that might have been one of the defenders. Now it's with McCabe. McCabe for Arsenal. Caught now by, I think that was Maritz. Now Beth Mead. Mead trying to find a defender, which she does, who passes towards Jen Beattie. 9 minutes have been played. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. And out goes the ball for another throw-in. Jonas Eidevall, head coach at Arsenal, has been in the position for about a year. He's doing really well with the team, as I said in the pre-match build-up. Currently leading the WSL standings. As a throw-in has been given to Chelsea, and it'll be Cuthbert to take the throw. Cuthbert throws to, I think that might have been Fleming. Now Bright sends it forward, and out it goes for a throw-in to Arsenal, to be taken by Catley. Catley, the Australian international. Her fellow international player, Caitlin Ford, is on the bench and might make an appearance later on in the game. Emma Hayes in discussion with her management and watching the action with intent. Can she add another trophy to her already impressive collection as Chelsea manager? Wubben-Moy for Arsenal. Well blocked by Kerr, I think, as she was trying to pass to Frida Marnham. Throw-in taken by Arsenal. Now it was Maritz straight towards one of the other defenders. Now picked up by Zinsberger. Straight it goes to Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy passes to Marnham. Now it's with, I think that might have been one of the midfielders. I think it might have been Volti. But a throw-in has been given to Arsenal, and already in the Premier League, it's a goal to Tottenham Hotspur, who have gone a goal up against Norwich City, courtesy of Lucas Moura. But back to the here and now, and it's Zinsberger who has picked up the ball for Arsenal. She passes to Wubben-Moy, who passes back to Zinsberger, now towards Jen Beattie. Beattie now towards Catley. Now back to Beattie, who passes back to Zinsberger. Now Wubben-Moy if that's the tactic they're using to try and get the ball forward, it obviously hasn't worked so far. Now it's with Kim Little. Kim Little, who passes towards Miedema, but well blocked by the Chelsea defenders, and now it's back with the Blues. Kerr briefly had it momentarily, but there was nobody to get close to the ball as it went further up the field. Just over 12 minutes gone. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1, and you're listening to the Commentary Hub, and you can also hear us on the Commentary Hub 2, JB Sports, JDAC Football, and Storm FM, and courtesy of our streaming partner Melon, as Catley has the ball briefly. Now it's with Chelsea. Fran Kirby now with the ball. She passes to Sam Kerr. Unlucky not to score a couple of minutes ago. Can she do so this time? The answer is no. And it's now with Marnham. Marnham tried to pass to Little, but Little just missed it. Bright towards Cuthbert. Cuthbert passes back to Bright, who now passes it towards Carter. Carter with the ball for Chelsea. Not for long though, as Arsenal tries to get to it, but it's been passed back towards Chelsea, and now it's been picked up by Anne-Katrin Berger. Anne-Katrin Berger, has played for Turbine Potsdam and won the Frauen Bundesliga with them once, the German equivalent, the women's equivalent of the already successful German Bundesliga. As Wubben Moy picks up the ball, and it's now gone towards Zinsberger. Zinsberger kicks it out, picked up by Marnham. Now it's with Kim Little. Kim Little now passes back towards Catley. Catley now towards Katie McCabe. Katie McCabe, the Republic of Ireland international, passes back to Catley. Now it's with Beattie. Beattie towards Wubben Moy. Wubben Moy now with the ball, goes over the centre line, crosses upfield, tries to find Miedema, but headed away by Cuthbert. Arsenal still remain on the attack. Marnham to McCabe. Now Miedema. Miedema straight towards, I think that might have been Little. Indeed it was. And Cuthbert clears it away. And that will result in an Arsenal corner. Wow. Very frenetic action in the 18-yard box over the past 30-odd seconds. But it has given Arsenal a corner. Will they be able to convert something from that? It'll be Katie McCabe to take the corner for the Gunners. Raises her hand to signal that she is ready. She's waiting for the whistle from Conley. Everyone just scrambling about, getting into position as to find the best points to attack and defend, and McCabe sends the ball into the goal area, headed away by Kerr, I think, and it looks a bit, but Chelsea doing really well to keep the ball out, not for long, as McCabe crosses back in, was headed for Beth Mead, but deflected really well by Bright, and down goes, I think that was Frank Kirby, but Chelsea still on the attack, courtesy of I think that was Guro Wrighton, and she almost passed to Sam Kerr, but Arsenal were quick to stop her in her tracks as Volti passes towards, I think that was Catley, but now it's gone back to Wubben Moy. Lottie Wubben Moy has appeared for England a couple of times in recent weeks, headed by Erin Cuthbert. Cuthbert now with the ball for Chelsea, but quickly crossed over and appears to have gone into a foul, an incident with an Arsenal defender. Couldn't quite fully see who it was. Conley, referee, coming over to try and sort the matter out. Cuthbert looks to be all right. It was, in fact, It was, in fact, Kim Little who she might have collided with, or was it Noelle Maritz? I think it might well have been Maritz, as Bright does a free kick towards Jessie Fleming. Now it's with Fran Kirby. Can she double it, or can Sam Kerr double it? Neither can, as Zinsberger keeps the ball out. And in fact, if it had gone out, if it had gone in, it would have been ruled as offside. Let's take a look at that. Sam Kerr was marginally offside. So unlucky for Kerr to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, as Beattie now picks up the ball for Arsenal. Beattie crosses towards, I think that might have been, yes, it was Maritz. Noelle Maritz will get ready to take a throw-in to Arsenal. Almost 18 minutes in, Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1, as the throw-in has been taken. And Woburn Moy passes back to Zinsberger, who now finds Steph Catley. Now it's with Katie McCabe. McCabe passes the ball upfield towards Kim Little, but swiftly dealt with by Jess Carter. Jess Carter, forgot to mention her. Very good defender for Chelsea, has also appeared as a substitute for England a couple of times. Now it's with Sam Kerr. Sam Kerr for Chelsea. Very well blocked by Beattie, and I think Kirby had a chance at goal, but was deflected by Zinsberger, and it'll be a Chelsea corner. Their first of the match. Great attempt by Kerr, but well tackled by Beattie, but the ball only went to Fran Kirby, and Kirby could do nothing about it. Corner kick taken for Chelsea, but nobody could get to it in time. But Eriksson passes to Guro Reiten. Reiten crosses into the goal area, but headed away by Little. Now it's with Leopolds, and Leopolds sends it over the crossbar. To me, right now, it's difficult to say who is the more aggressive. Although I probably have to go with Chelsea. Arsenal have had their fair few chances as well, but Chelsea doing really well to hold on to their lead as Jen Beattie gets the game started again. And it's gone out for a throw-in to Arsenal to be taken by Noelle Maritz. Emma Hayes shouting her instructions from the touchline. Leopolds put too much power into it, in my view. And Mike says there should have been a penalty for Chelsea. I think that might have been the incident with Sam Kerr. Personally, I could neither make head or tail of it, as Catley now passes to Katie McCabe, saved by Ann-Katrine Berger. Back to the incident which would have resulted in a penalty. I think I actually disagree. I think the challenge was too soft in my view. But a cross by McCabe does not go well, and that's why it's ended up in the hands of Katrine Berger. Katrine Berger gets ready to kick the ball out. She does. Coming up to the 21-minute mark, still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1, and it's now Jess Carter with the ball for Chelsea. Passes to Bright, and it's now with Cuthbert. Erin Cuthbert passes to the captain, Eriksson. Eriksson passes back towards Cuthbert. Cuthbert tries to find Fleming, but quickly dealt with by Arsenal. It's now Miedemar. Miedemar towards Kim Little. Little tries to go round Chelsea. She passes to McCabe. McCabe goes back towards Marnham, but well defended by Bright and Carter. Berger has the ball. Who's she going to clear it to? I think she's sort of composing herself and thinking about where it should go. She has cleared it, and it's now with Jess Carter. Carter crosses towards Cuthbert, who misses, and it'll be a throw-in to Arsenal. McCabe throws towards Vivienne Miedemar, but Miedemar can't get to the ball in time. How unlucky was she to miss that? And this will be a goal kick once more to Chelsea. Jonas Eidval now also issuing his instructions from the touchline as well. Carter passes, tries to find a Chelsea player, but to no avail. It's now with McCabe. McCabe there for Arsenal, passes to Catley, and it's now Miedemar. Miedemar, but blocked very well by the Canadian international, Jessie Fleming. 23 minutes gone. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. The score still remains. Catley passed to Marnham. Miedemar was going for goal, but Fleming's momentum, I think, would have put a stop to that. Meantime, Kirby had the ball briefly for Chelsea. Now it has gone out for another throw. Another throw-in. I think Arsenal have had more throw-ins than Chelsea. But do please let me know more in the comments. As Ingle picks up the ball for Chelsea, and out it goes for a throw-in to Arsenal, and it'll be picked up by Noel Maritz. And one of the comments we've had is from Stephen, was from Stephen Salkas earlier on in the day. Go Gunners from Australia, he says. So I hope you're well. So I hope you're doing well on the other side of the world, Steve. And g'day to you. As play still goes on, it's now Cuthbert who passes to Fleming. Now it's Kirby. Kirby goes for 2, misses. Deflected by Zinsberger. Well picked up very well by Wrighton. Wrighton tried to assist Kirby, but I think Beattie got there first, and Zinsberger was able to palm it away. So it'll be a corner to Chelsea. And the ball has gone into the goal. Almost headed in by Magda Eriksson. But still nothing comes of it. We're just over 25 minutes in. It still remains Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. What a missed opportunity for Magda Eriksson as Jen Beattie gets things started again. Passes to Woburn Moy. Sam Kerr looked menacing around her, but the ball was quickly passed towards Woburn Moy. Now it's Beattie towards Catley. Catley, and in the Premier League, another goal. It's Leeds going 1-0 up against Brentford. Tyler Roberts scored that one as Katie McCabe looked like she was going towards goal for Arsenal. There's another look at it. McCabe couldn't get to the ball in time as Katrin Berger was able to pick that one up effortlessly. And Berger clears the ball out. It's now back with Arsenal. McCabe, Fleming towards Jen Beattie. Steph Catley for Arsenal. Catley passes to, I think that was Marnham. Yes, indeed it was. Marnham to Beattie, who passes back towards Zinsberger. Now it's Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy now for Arsenal. Almost brought down, I think it was Noel Maritz who was almost brought down there by, I think that might have been Eriksson. BT towards Catley. Catley passes to Miedemar. Now it's gone towards Frank Kirby. Frank Kirby. She's running upfield towards the goal. She passes to Guro Reiten. Guro Reiten quickly dealt with by Arsenal, although Chelsea are still hungry for it. Wubben-Moy tries to go around Reiten. Keeps hold of the ball, but not for long. It's out for a Chelsea throw-in. Reiten upset that she might have cost Chelsea a bit of time. But a poor giveaway to Arsenal. No, it's actually Chelsea that will be taking the throw, and it'll be the captain Eriksson to take the throw. Ball kept in, and it's now with Cuthbert. Cuthbert towards Bright. Millie Bright has the ball for Chelsea. She crosses, tries to find Reiten, who now passes to Kirby. She was going for a second, but very well defended by Arsenal. I think Wubben-Moy was one of the key defenders in that one. Just over 28 minutes have been played. It's still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. And a powerful shot on goal by Kirby, but narrowly missed. And a corner kick has been given to Chelsea. It'll be Guro Reiten to take the corner, which she does. No, in fact, it was Cuthbert. Cuthbert passes to long shot towards, I think that was a Leopolds, but again, the Arsenal defenders doing well to hold her off. Zinsberger picks up the ball to take the goal kick, and Emma Hayes getting ever more passionate on the touchline. Zinsberger passes to Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy crosses the ball towards, I think that was Leopolds. Leopolds towards Beth Mead. Mead doing very well to hold on, but quickly cut off by Guro Reiten. That sort of makes up for her mistimed kick about a couple of minutes ago, and it will be a corner to Arsenal. Corner kick to Arsenal to be taken by it'll be Beth Mead. The ball goes into the 8-yard box. Quickly kept out by Chelsea. Not for long though, as Leah Valti now has the ball for Arsenal, she crosses into the goal area. Almost caught by McKay, but headed away by Eriksson. And it's now Jessie Fleming, with the ball for Chelsea. Just over the half-hour mark. It's still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. You're listening to the commentary. You're listening to the Commentary Hub, and you can also hear us on the Commentary Hub too, JB Sports, JDAC Football, and Storm FM. Well picked up by Arsenal. It's now with Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy crosses and headed by Fleming, and it's now with Marnham. Marnham towards Valti. Now Wubben-Moy. Lottie Wubben-Moy for Arsenal, who passes back to Zinsberger, and it's now Wubben-Moy once more for Arsenal. Wubben-Moy now towards, I think that was Maritz. Yes, Maritz. And it's picked up by Frank Kirby. Frank Kirby for Chelsea. Does very well to hold on to the ball momentarily, but it's now been picked up by Arsenal. Cuthbert now, and it's now Vivianne Miedemar. We haven't seen much of her throughout this game so far, and it doesn't look like we'll be seeing more from her after that one, as in to say, with her on the ball. Kerr towards Cuthbert. Erin Cuthbert crosses towards Guro Reiten. Guro Reiten misses the ball. Unlucky for the Norwegian international not to pick that one up. And the rain is now falling. And the rain is now falling a lot more heavier at Wembley, as there's been an incident on the touchline between two players. I couldn't see fully who they were. It looked to me as though it might have been Leah Valti, Helen Conley trying to assess the situation, but a free kick has been given to Chelsea, and it will be Reiten to take the free kick. Everyone getting into their positions as Reiten kicks the ball into the 18-yard box, cleared out by Arsenal, and Millie Bright almost had a chance at goal, but the ball didn't go where she wanted it to. Nicely headed by Maritz, and Bright was there to pick up the ball, but she couldn't send it into the net. Maritz for Arsenal. Now it's gone to Beth Mead, and now it's gone straight to Valti. Back to Mead. Beth Mead passes back towards Wubben-Moy. Now it was Valti to Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy crosses towards Miedemar, but kept out by Jess Carter. Ingle now for Chelsea. And it's now gone straight to Leopold and Frank Kirby, who I think might have been pushed down by Lottie Wubben-Moy. I'm not sure what to make of that one. To be honest with you. I think it might have been a soft push there, but nothing given for that one. And it'll be a Chelsea free kick, which Jess Carter takes, and it's now gone to Sophie Ingle. Ingle passes back to Carter, now straight back to Katrin Berger. Carter picks the ball up again. Now gone back to Berger. It looks as though somebody from Arsenal was eager to make something of it. It's now Leah Valti for Arsenal, who passes to Lottie Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy now tried to find Kim Little, but nothing came of that one. Kim Little, the Arsenal captain. Almost 35 minutes gone, still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. Jona Cedarval looking very composed on the touchline. And we've now got 10 minutes until half time, as Sam Kerr looks like she's picked up the ball, and she's going for a second goal for Chelsea, just misses. It clips the crossbar. How unlucky was she not to send that one in? She was able to pick that one up from Lottie Wubben-Moy very effectively, but I think her kick was poorly mistimed. She went into the goal area. She used her right foot, but in my opinion, her aimed angle wasn't correct. And so the score still remains 1-0 to the Blues. And it's now Vivienne Miedemar for Arsenal, but she's been brought down by Erin Cuthbert, quickly back up on her feet. I think Cuthbert might have briefly fouled her. I think she's apologising to referee Conley for what's happened. Aaron Russell says, "Come on, Chelsea." But the incident between Cuthbert and Miedemar, I think that was more accidental rather than anything. And this will be a free kick to Arsenal, and it will be Beth Mead to take the free kick for the Gunners. Mead kicks the ball in, almost headed in by, I think that was Kim Little, but Chelsea doing very well to keep that ball out. It's now Kim Little for Arsenal, who passes back towards Katrin Berger. Almost 37 minutes in, still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. And it's now with Jen Beattie. Beattie towards Catley. Catley now back to Beattie. Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy crosses towards, I think that was, I think that might have been Marnham. And it's now back with Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy towards Beattie. Beattie passes to Catley. Catley now towards, I think that was Beth Mead. Now it's back to Catley and Beattie. Picked up again by Katrin Berg. Zinsberger, a player at international level for Austria, and it's now gone towards Beth Mead. Beth Mead with the ball for Arsenal. Can she find a way to to level for Arsenal? And the answer is no, courtesy of Erin Cuthbert, who did really well to keep the ball away from the danger area. And it's now a corner to Arsenal. No further goal scores as of yet in today's Premier League games. It's Kim Little for Arsenal as Catley crosses into the 18-yard box, but quickly picked up by Leopolds for Chelsea. Not for long, though, as it's Maritz. Maritz for Arsenal, headed by Millie Bright. And it's now been picked up by Leah Valti. Valti passes to McCabe, and it's now gone straight back to Valti. Beattie, Catley. Steph Catley passes to Kim Little. Kim Little now with the ball for Arsenal. It's now gone back to Catley towards Beth Mead. Catley, Little again. Now back to Catley. Catley crosses into the goal, and that's been picked up by Marnham. Marnham. But Marnham tried to make something of it, but quickly cleared out by Millie Bright. Beattie towards Zinsberger. And Aaron Russell goes on to make his support of Chelsea very clear. Blue is the colour. It certainly is now. But will Arsenal be able to paint over it as Mead has the ball straight into the goal there, but cleared out by Bright. Not for long, though. It's now gone to Valti. Little. Kim Little now with the ball for Arsenal. Just a chance to level. No. Cuthbert very quick on her feet to block that. Or did the ball actually touch her arm? I think it did. She didn't get close to the ball at all, and I think it just brushed her arm. Will she have to be cautioned for that? I think she might have done, but Worldwide Gooner Elite has hit back at Aaron Russell saying, London is red. COYG, come on, you Gunners, as Arsenal take the corner. And it's now Mead with the ball once more. Mead towards Katie McCabe, who slips up, and it was with Catley for a moment. Bitterly disappointing for Katie McCabe to slip up in the goal area like that when she could have easily had an opportunity to score. Catley will take the throw in. Just under 5 minutes to go until half-time. Still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. And I've also got to mention that and I found out that Gooner Elise is actually Mike. It's his Arsenal channel, and he's put the game on there too. As an Arsenal player has gone down, so a quick apologies to Mike for mentioning that name indirectly. As Katie McCabe was fouled by Leo Poltz, I think. McCabe seems to be all right. A free kick has been given to Arsenal. You're listening to the Commentary Hub 2, JDAC Football, JB Sports, and Storm FM, and also Gooner Elite. will it be Katie McCabe to take the free kick, or I think it's actually going to be Frida Marnham to take the free kick as the clock ticks down, I should say. Free kick taken, but Chelsea defended that one really well. Marnham crosses into the 18-yard box, picked up by Wubben Moy towards Miedemar, but headed away by Bright and Leopolds. Carter now with the ball, but she crosses, trying to find a Chelsea forward, but quickly dealt with by, I think that was Valti. Yes, indeed it was. Valti tries to find another player, but the ball has gone out for another throw-in to, I think it'll be another Arsenal throw. No, I beg your pardon. It'll be a Chelsea throw in, and it looks like it'll be Ryson to take the throw, which he has done. But so the ball has gone out for another throw, and then it will be to Arsenal. Kim Little will take the throw. For Arsenal. And in fact, she won't. It's I think it was Katie. I think it might have been McCabe or another midfielder. But anyway, the ball has gone out of play again. That's the third time in as much as about 30 seconds. It will be Magda Eriksson this time, the Chelsea captain, to throw for the Blues, which he does. And it's now Wubben Moy for Arsenal, but the ball has gone out of play once more, and it looks as though it will likely be another goal kick or a corner. And the rain is continuing to fall at Wembley, so pitch conditions will be might be very slippery right now as Mead gets into another tangle with another Chelsea player. I think she's also hurt her leg in the process as well. Couldn't see which of the opposition side she collided with. It was Erin Cuthbert. Erin Cuthbert has gone down. She looks in pain just there, and Conley was just signalling for the physios to come out and have a look. She's being checked over right now as we speak. I think she's hurt her head or leg or whatever it was. This was what happened. I think she tried to to tackle Mead, but that was a very clumsy attempted tackle on goal. But it has done her more harm than good. I think she's hurt her leg really badly. I think it's probably her thigh or something like that. No bones broken, thankfully. Otherwise, a stretcher would have had to have been called out. We're now into the 45th minute, and it looks as though there's going to be additional periods of time. Yes, an additional period of 3 minutes. 3 minutes have been added on as Erin Cuthbert is being led back into action by the physios. So she seems to be all right, which is good news. As Wubben Moy crosses the ball towards, I think that was Leopolds. No, it wasn't Leopolds. So I do apologise. It was Maritz. But a throw-in has been given to. But a throw-in has been given to Chelsea. Quickly taken, and it was aimed for Guro Reiten, headed by Sam Kerr. It's now back in Arsenal possession. Quickly taken away by, I think that might have been Fleming for Chelsea. Maritz for Arsenal. Now it's gone back towards Frank Kirby. Kirby now with the ball for Chelsea. She has to pass to Jess Fleming or Sam Kerr. Couldn't find either. And Zinsberger quick to pick the ball up. I'm actually surprised that not many goals have been scored throughout this game. I'm surprised it still remains 1-0 as Jen Beattie now has the ball for Arsenal. Steph Catley passes to, I think that might have, to Marnham. but quickly picked. But Anne-Catherine Berger quick to deal with that one for Chelsea. Coming up to a minute left of this of the additional period. Berger kicks the ball out of the goal area for Chelsea, almost headed by Sam Kerr. And it's now gone straight to Jessie Fleming. Jessie Fleming now has the ball for Chelsea, but quickly picked up by Leah Valti. Mead towards Valti. And Valti has been fouled. And Valti has been fouled. I think that might have been by Kirby. She looks all right, quickly back up on her feet. It's still raining at Wembley. Not hardly surprising that when players have been fouled, they get bits of grass on their face. But play still goes on. Catley towards Miedemar. BT. Now gone straight back to Wubben-Moy. Now Zinsberger. We're just coming up towards the end of the additional period of 3 minutes. And it'll be half-time any moment now. And indeed it is. Chelsea attacked right from the off. But since then, there hasn't been much of a chance. But since then, there's been more chances from both sides to level or extend the score. But difficult to say who's the strongest side at the moment. We could be in for a different first half in comparison to the first half. Halftime score for the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1.
Thank you very much there, Nicholas, and a great first half coverage as well. Chelsea going 1-0 up early on through Fran Kirby, and actually they could have doubled that lead on a couple of occasions there as well, hitting the crossbar amongst other things. I'm going to let you go and warm yourself up a little bit there, Nicholas, with a nice hot cup of tea or something along them lines, whilst I run through a little bit in regards to what else has been happening today in the Premier League and the FA Cup, etc. So the Premier League is there's a couple of early games in the Premier League that have had goals already. Goals at Leeds. Leeds are leading Brentford by 1-0. Tyler Roberts on the score sheet there, which was a Rafina assist. Also, Manchester United and Crystal Palace is 0-0 at half-time as well in Ralph Rangnick's first game in charge at Old Trafford. And Tottenham are leading Norwich by 1-0 thanks to that Lucas Moura goal after 10 minutes. There's also been games in the FA Cup as well. The men's FA Cup, that is. Rochdale were out. They lost 2-1 at home to Plymouth Argyle. The goal scorers for Plymouth were Garrick and Jeff Cott. And Morley scored for Rochdale in between. But it's the Plymouth Argyle side there that go through. And also another full time. Wigan go through 2-1 as well away at Colchester. Goals from Lang getting a brace there. And Sears got one back for Colchester, but it wasn't enough for the League Two side as it's Wigan that progressed through to round 3. More FA Cup action later on as well. As we'll see games kick off between Kidderminster and Halifax in around about an hour's time. And then a little bit later on at 5:15, Salford take on Chesterfield to see which one of those two sides can put themselves into the hat for the third round. As for tomorrow, there's a game between Boreham Wood and St Albans as well, which is going to be covered on the TC Hub. And all of the TC Hub, in fact, it's going to be on TC Hub and all the other TC Hub channels, I should say, with Everton and Arsenal with myself in the Premier League, going to be covered as well on TC Hub 2 and the Worldwide Gooner Elite page, which this one is also on as well. So that will have Everton's coverage against Arsenal tomorrow evening on. And also in the Premier League in a little while, I think it's 4:30, I think it is actually, kick off. As Aston Villa host Leicester City as well. So still that one to go. In the Scottish Premier League, there was a game earlier on and Celtic were 3-0 victors away at Dundee with Roderick, Turnbull and Scales on the score sheet there for Celtic. So good victory for them as well. And just going to have a look if there's any more games from other divisions there. It doesn't look like it is. There's no Women's Super League or anything like that at the moment that I can see. I think the Women's Super League was a couple of days ago last time. I think it was like a week ago. So no more to talk about there. But in this one, Chelsea currently leading 1-0. It was a great goal as well from Kirby, but Arsenal have been quite poor, really, in possession, giving the ball away fairly sloppily. The keeper there, just having a look at some of these chances again. There's a few moments there that the Arsenal backline have made a few mistakes, and Chelsea were able to punish Arsenal on the one occasion through Kirby, but Kerr had a couple of chances as well that hit the bar, and there was one that was well saved by Zinsberger in the Arsenal goal. We've got Pretty Srivastava as well. Saying who's going to win. Well, at the moment, it does look very much like Chelsea are the side on top, and Arsenal have really got to try some, something a little bit different in the second half, because in the first half there, the Gunners are still actually yet to have an effort on target. They've had 4 shots in total to Chelsea's 9, but Chelsea have had 4 on target to Arsenal's none. So Arsenal are still yet to test the Chelsea keeper there. Arsenal in possession have had the more possession though, 68-32, and they've had more corners as well. But Zinsberger has really kept Arsenal in it at half time and made a couple of saves to deny Chelsea from extending that lead to more than the 1 that it currently is. So it's one of those ones at the moment. We've got a message here from Abdi as well. I'm not going to read your full name because it's quite a long one, mate, so apologies on that. But he says Arsenal won't win. They have the same mentality as the men's team, which is quite a kick in the teeth for somebody that follows Arsenal here. But you can see why he's coming out with comments like that when they're based on that first half performance. So have to wait and see what happens in the second half. As for Chelsea, though, they'll be very pleased to be in 1-0 up at the break, and they are thoroughly deserving of that. And I've got a few comments here from a couple of Arsenal fans that I know that are watching the game. Georgina has said it was so sloppy on the goal. And then she says, keeper's keeping us in this one here with some class saves, which I just mentioned there. And the whole team is really struggling today. They need to settle down and play their game, which I totally agree as well. But we'll get Nicholas's thoughts on that in a moment or two. But yeah, so let's see whether I've got any more comments here from any other fans that have been listening or tuned in. Doesn't look like it at the moment. So I will see if Nicholas is back, actually. And Nicholas, Chelsea in the ascendancy there in the first half, 1-0 up, and really it could and probably should be more.
Yes, I did say in the commentary that more should have been that there should have been more in there. I'm really surprised that the likes of Miedemar and Kerr and even Katie McCabe, don't rule her. Don't forget her, and also Kim Lissel as well. I mean, they had a few chances at goal themselves, but very surprised that nothing came of it for both of them. Very surprised.
Absolutely, and there's been a couple of talking points about potential penalties for both sides as well. One for what looked like a little bit of a late lunge. I think it was on, might have been Kerr or Kirby. I can't remember which one it was, but a bit of a late challenge there. And then the potential handball as well. Did you see anything in either of them?
I think I only got the shout for a penalty from which was the attack on Sam Kerr. I didn't see anything on the handball, but I'm very surprised that nothing was given.
Absolutely, and it was a potential handball that would have been a penalty for Arsenal, but the officials decided not to look at that one, and There is VAR in this, incidentally, as well, which we haven't touched on yet, but they are having VAR here for this final. So obviously the VAR officials were in agreement with the referee there, or the referee felt that they didn't need to look at the VAR because that is an option for them.
Thanks for pointing that out. So I actually didn't know that they were using VAR until now. But I think another reason why chances didn't come all so often was because of the weather. You know, for the past hour and a bit or something like that, it's been raining. So the slippery pitch has caught more than a few people out.
Yes, absolutely. And at the moment, it does look very much like Chelsea are going to be the side to go on and lift this cup. But what do Arsenal need to do now in the second half, apart from have a shot at the Chelsea goal? Because so far, as I mentioned, Arsenal were yet to have an attempt really at the Chelsea keeper's hands there, and hasn't slung her gloves at all. They've tested Zinsberger in the Arsenal goal, but for the Chelsea keeper, it's been a very easy afternoon so far.
It certainly has been very easy for Ann-Katrin Berger, but Zinsberger needs to be a little less sloppy, as you mentioned just now, and I think Jonas Ederval needs to bring on the likes of Nikita Paris, Caitlin Ford, and Jordan Nobbs in the second half. They're very experienced players at this level, and indeed in the FA Cup final. So particularly Nikita Paris has won it, of course, with Manchester City. So they need to get so if they're looking for more star quality players to feature in the second half, then you can't go much further than Nikita Paris.
No, absolutely not. And a previous winner, as you rightly mentioned just a moment ago. And for Chelsea, they've got options on the bench. Of course, Bethany England scored a couple of goals in England's 20-0 victory over Latvia in the week. And, I'm sure she'll be itching at the bit to get on and play a part in this final as well.
Yes, I bet she will be. But also do not discount the likes of Drew Spence coming on in the second half. But I think another player we might be seeing more of is Jessie Fleming in the second half. She's assisted a couple of times, and also credit must go to Norway's Guro Reiten.
Yes, absolutely. I think has had a very good game. Actually, has Reiten as well. Just looking here now in regards to anything else there. Before the two sides start to play again, that should only be a couple of minutes. I don't think there's been any more goals in the Premier League as of yet. I think it's still as it was there, because I think they're all half times now. But what do you make of the final as a whole, as a spectacle? It's been Chelsea on top all the way through, really, and what do Arsenal need to do? Of course, they've got to get Viv Miedemar into the game, really, and also the likes of Kim Little. Neither of those have really been in it for Arsenal as of yet.
No, they haven't. They've only been featuring briefly, as has Katie McCabe. We also need to see more. We also need to see more of Beth Mead. But if Ederval needs to make a halftime decision for substitutes, he's got plenty of players to choose from, as I mentioned earlier.
Absolutely, and of course you are our women's correspondent as well, and you've been covering the women's game a little bit for us. And before we go into the second half here as well, of course, did you see the England game in midweek, and what did you make of that? Just briefly as well, the 20-0 victory over Latvia. It was some performance, wasn't it?
I'm actually ashamed to say that I didn't actually see that one, but I've seen what people have been saying about it, and it was something, to remember. It actually one short of the actual record set by England women at international level. But back to the here and the now. I have a feeling we might be seeing at least 2-3 more goals throughout the second half, but it depends on what both Jana Seedval and Emma Hayes can come up with.
Absolutely, and it's been a very well supported final as well. Lots of tickets sold there, and Wembley looks full with both Arsenal and Chelsea fans as well for this Women's Cup final, which is great to see that much support for the women's game as well, isn't it?
Yes, very good. Yes, absolutely. It's absolutely wonderful to see so many people on there as in support of the women's game, and as I mentioned at the start of the program, Southampton beating Stuart and Thistle 4-1 in the first Women's FA Cup final in '71, and both the captains from those teams that are present, they carried the ball out onto the pit. They carried the match. They carried the trophy on there, and Leslie Lloyd and Elsie Cook were the two respective captains during that time. Now you know.
Absolutely, and it looks like the Arsenal side are heading out just now. I don't know whether that means that they've had a bit of a rollicking at half time from the management, but they are heading out before Chelsea, I believe, here. So
yes, it looks.
Hand over to Nicholas now for second half coverage, but it does look like Arsenal have been sent out early, and you can see there that it does look like they've got a little bit between their teeth as well, which is going to be sort of what makes for an interesting second half, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. And the Chelsea players now coming out onto the pitch as well. Can't see any substitutions made as of yet. The last Chelsea player to come onto the pitch is Sophie Ingle. Frank Kirby, goal scorer of the game, got the first goal in early on. Will she be able to add to that throughout the second half? That will remain to be seen, but also look out for the likes of Sam Kerr and Jessie Fleming as well. They need, in the case of Arsenal, they need to play up Katie McCabe, Vivian Miedemar, and Beth Mead a lot more. Also, not discounting Kim Little from this either. Meantime, the Chelsea players are getting into a huddle, discussing what tactics they're going to use in the second half. Arsenal doing a bit of stretching about, warming themselves up for the second half, and Chelsea break from their huddle. Jana Seedval talking to his assistant, Emma Hayes, very confident. Should be very confident after her side's performance in the first half, and we are getting ready for the second half to begin. It'll be Chelsea going from right to left, and Arsenal going from left to right, and we are underway for the second half at Wembley. Straight in there by Chelsea, almost caught by Rayton, but Arsenal doing well to defend that one. It's now Frank Kirby for Chelsea. She passes to Eriksson, the captain, but quickly sorted out by Beth Mead. And out goes the ball. It was almost picked up by Kirby, and it's going to be Eriksson. It's actually going to be Eriksson who will take the throw-in. Throw-in taken by Eriksson, almost caught by Jessie Fleming. But Chelsea appear to be attacking more now after the second half has started again. It seems Arsenal are just about holding them back as Frank Kirby misses the ball, which has gone out for a throw-in to Arsenal. And it will be Casey McKay, and it'll be Noel Maritz to take the throw for the Gunners, which he has. Ingle tries to cross towards Sam Kerr, but quickly picked up. But Kerr couldn't get to the ball in time, and neither could Lottie Woburn-Moy. So it'll be Manuela Zinsberger to pick up the ball for a goal kick. Quickly done. Valti to Lottie Woburn-Moy. Woburn-Moy crosses and finds Vivian Miedemar. Vivian Miedemar now towards Jen Beattie. It's now gone straight to Marnham. Cuthbert towards Bright. Millie Bright crosses, but the ball is picked up by Jen Beattie. Headed by Marnham, and it's now with Erin Cuthbert. Cuthbert now tries to cross towards Kirby. Dealt with very well by Arsenal, and it's now Vivian Miedemar. Vivian Miedemar for Arsenal, who passes to Kim Little, but defended very well by Jess Carter. And the score still remains Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1. Lissell was just about to get to the ball and almost tackled Jess Carter, but Carter did very well to defend, so it made no difference. Catley, and the ball has gone out for a Chelsea throw-in. And just looking at all the players on the pitch, and I can confirm that no half-time substitutes were made, as Chelsea have taken their throw-in. Leopolds towards Kirby. Kirby now with the ball for Chelsea. Passes to Cuthbert. Erin Cuthbert has found Fleming. Now it's gone back towards Kirby. Now it's with Cuthbert and Miedemar. Lissell. Wrighton crosses towards Millie Bright, who will pick up the ball for a throw, which she does. She throws to Anne-Katrine Berger, who passes to Jess Carter. Carter passes to Eriksson. Now Sophie Ingle towards Jessie Fleming, now back towards Wrighton. Ingle again. Back towards Eriksson. Ingle again. Ingle crosses, but picked up by Jen Beattie. Towards Noel Maritz, it was actually Lottie Woburn-Moy. Zinsberger passes to Jen Beattie. And it's now gone to Valti, I think it was. But Arsenal, it seems, can do nothing to try and break through Chelsea's defence. Casey McCabe had a few chances in the first half. She'll be looking for more, I am sure, as a throw-in has been awarded to Chelsea, and it's now with Leopolds. Picked up by Woburn-Moy, now towards Leah Valti, towards Steph Catley. Now Kim Little towards Casey McCabe. Kim Little again. Little doing very well to hold on to the ball. Now it's gone towards Beth Mead. Beth Mead. Now it's Mead doing very well to hold on, but quickly silenced by Jess Carter. Her advance, that is. Erin Cuthbert now has the ball. Cuthbert tries to pass to Guro Wrighton almost towards the centre line. But Arsenal trying to take the ball off Chelsea. Not for long, though. It's now Wrighton with the ball for Chelsea. She tries to find Kirby, but quickly picked up by Lottie Woburn-Moy. And a foul has just happened between Beth Mead and Magda Eriksson. I couldn't tell whose fault it was. It looked to me like a normal incident. Mead, no, I think it was no, but Ericsson was a slight touch aggressive on that one. I think Carter was involved as well. Free kick given to Arsenal. Lottie Woman-Moy takes the ball from Valti. Now BT. Just over 51 minutes in. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 1 remains the score. And Brentford have levelled in their match against Leeds. Shandon Baptiste, the goal scorer. Noel Maritz for Arsenal. That looked like it was being set up towards goal there, but nothing comes of it. And it's now Leah Valti towards Woman-Moy. Woman-Moy for Arsenal after receiving a back pass from Marnham. Maritz towards Woman-Moy. Valti now picked up by Frank Kirby, but deflected well by Woman-Moy. Now Casey McCabe. McCabe almost tried to defend from Cuthbert, who I think ran into her and foul on Erin Cuthbert, but she was quickly back up on her feet there. So it doesn't look like any serious harm was done on that one. And it looks like it's still raining at Wembley. A free kick has been given to Chelsea though, and it will be Millie Bright to take the free kick for the Blues, which she does, and it was aiming for Sam Kerr, but Arsenal were quick to deal with that one, and it's Eriksson to Wrighton, back to Eriksson. Eriksson crosses into the goal area, tries to find Fleming, but Fleming just couldn't send the ball where she wanted it to. Great bit of teamwork by Eriksson towards Fleming, but it looked to me as though Jen Beattie was able to deflect that one, which she did. No, it wasn't. It was Steph Catley. And a corner has been given to Chelsea. And it will be taken by Erin Cuthbert towards Fleming. Fleming keeps it out. Ingle towards Jess Carter. Carter now crossing towards that looked to be Erin Cuthbert. It was Cuthbert trying to defend from McCabe. Headed by Kerr. Saved by Zinsberger. Sam Kerr has been on very good form throughout this game so far. She almost made it 2 a couple of times. Was unlucky to be ruled out as offside earlier on in the first half, but I have a feeling she may well be on the score sheet. Wrighton for Chelsea, picked up well by Maritz. Now Kim Little. Little now with the Little managing to hold on to the ball. She passes back to Maritz. Now it's with Woman-Moy. BT, although Sam Kerr is hunting her down. Now it's with looked to me as though it might have been Marnham. Now I've gone straight back to Woman-Moy. Woman-Moy passes to Noel Maritz. Now Valti, Woman-Moy. Woman-Moy passes towards Katrin Berger. No, sorry, Zinsberger. Now it's Sophie Ingle for Chelsea, who passes to Carter. Carter crosses upfield, tries to find Kerr, but deflected very well by the Arsenal defence. I think Jen Beattie might have had a touch on that one. BT towards Woman-Moy. Now back to Zinsberger. Zinsberger clears towards Erin Cuthbert, who is fouled yet again, but quickly back up on her feet. Valti towards Maritz. Now back towards Little. Beth Mead, but quickly taken by Chelsea, as Kirby tries to find Sam Kerr, which she does. Kerr now with the ball for Chelsea. She's entering the goal area. Can she make it 2? Yes! Chelsea have doubled their lead. Amazing shot on goal by Sam Kerr. Does a little pose in front of the crowd, and Millie Bright embraces her. What a superb finish by Sam Kerr. Good teamwork, good assist there by Fran Kirby to pass the ball towards Sam Kerr, who just fired us in, no problem. I did say she would be on the score sheet. She is now. And Lottie Wubben-Moy could do nothing about her attacking prowess. Sam Kerr, a goal scorer at club and international level with Australia. It was actually Kirby who was the first to reach her. And a sea of blue flags waving proudly. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2 is the score. But Chelsea aren't going to rest on their laurels. It looks as though they're going to be back for more. As Katrine Berger picks up the ball, who passes to Jess Carter. Katrine Berger clears the ball upfield, tries to find Wrighton, but was blocked by Valti. McCabe looked like she was going for an Arsenal forward, and it looks as if an Arsenal substitution is about to be made. It'll be Mana Iwabuchi, the Japanese international. I actually commentated on the quarter-final match between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. She was actually one of the players on the score sheet at that time, but she could be out for more this time round. Catley towards Beth Mead. Now Jen Beattie. Beattie towards, I think that was Valti. Now it's gone straight back to Zinsberger. Now it's with Lottie Wubben-Moy. Back to Zinsberger. Now Jen Beattie towards Marnham. Now Leah Valti. Valti has passed to Marnham. Now Beth Mead. Beth Mead passes to Vivian Miedemar. We haven't seen much of her so far. Headed by Fleming towards Frank Kirby. Kirby now has the ball, but passes to Jessie Fleming. Fleming passes back to Kirby. Kirby does a back pass to Sophie Ingle and almost picked up by Magda Eriksson. Now it's with Guro Wrighton. Now Magda Eriksson. Eriksson tackled very well by Casey McCabe. Headed by Leopoldson. It's now with Little. Little for Arsenal. Little passes to Catley, and out it goes for a throw. And in the meantime, Leah Valti will be substituted for Mana Iwabuchi, the Japanese international. On she comes. Onto the pitch she comes, and a throw-in has been given to Chelsea. One of the signs says, "Make football everyone's game," and this game is hoping to prove that. And as Mike and I mentioned in the halftime interval, so many supporters to watch this game. Wonderful. Little towards Marnham. Now it's with Beth Mead. Now back towards Beattie. Beattie towards Iwabuchi. Her first touch of the game. Now Beth Mead. Beth Mead couldn't hold on to the ball, and that was That was a strange challenge on her by, I think that might have been Marnie Leopolds, but nothing given as a result of that. BT towards Marnham. Now back to BT. BT crosses and looks for Beth Mead, but she's offside. She's offside. So any attack she might have had towards goal wouldn't have counted. Arsenal need to not make any more mistakes like that. That was a long cross by BT, and Mead was definitely offside. So now it looks as, and so Katrin Berger clears the ball out. It's gone towards Lottie Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy towards, I think that was Noel Maritz, and out goes the ball for an Arsenal throw in. No, it was in fact McCabe, or anyway Maritz to take the throw in for Arsenal. Just over 62 minutes have been played. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2. Iwabuchi towards Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy crosses and finds Katie McCabe. No, sorry, Vivian Miedemar. Very good teamwork between these two. Iwabuchi, but quickly taken by Ingle, and it's now with Wrighton. Almost picked up by Noel Maritz, and it's now gone to Lottie Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy passes towards Marnham, but it's now gone back to Wubben-Moy as Brentford have extended their lead, I should say, over Leeds. Sergi Canos, the man to score Brentford second, as BT crosses towards me, but it was picked up by Chelsea. You're listening to the Commentary Hub, JB Sports, JDAC Football, the Commentary Hub 2, and Worldwide Gooner Elite. And also Storm FM, as Maritz passes back to Wubben-Moy. And it's now with Marnham. Straight back to Wubben-Moy. Now gone towards Zinsberger, and Tottenham Hotspur have doubled their lead over Norwich City. Davidson Sanchez. And now Vivian Miedemar has the ball for Arsenal. Now it's with Katie McCabe. Deflected very well by both Bright and Cuthbert. Iwabuchi passed to McCabe, but Cuthbert did very well to deflect that one. And it's a corner kick to Arsenal. Everyone getting into position. Deflected very well by Jessie Fleming. As one of her teammates has gone down, it might have been from a challenge by Casey McCabe. It's Fran Kirby. I don't believe it. As the referee Helen Conley comes over to have a look. I think she's going to give a yellow card to. I think she's going to give a yellow card to McCabe. McCabe doesn't argue. I think she knows what's coming, and indeed she is. McCabe has been given a yellow card. I'm not surprised. That did look very rough on her. That did look very rough on Fran Kirby, and it looks as if the rain appears to have lessened slightly. I'm not sure if it has fully stopped. Almost 65 and a half minutes in. Still Chelsea lead Arsenal by 2-0. Wubben-Moy passes to Zinsberger. Now it's with Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy passes back towards Zinsberger, although Sam Kerr looked like she was going to run towards the ball. Wubben-Moy crosses, tried to find McCabe, but headed away by Cuthbert. and it's now with Sam Kerr, who deflects it back to Jen Beattie, but picked up by Zinsberger, who passes back to Beattie, and it's now with Wubben Moy. Wubben Moy towards towards I think that might have been Marnham. Wubben Moy again to Zinsberger. Now Jen Beattie towards Beth Mead, and now it's with Mana Iwabuchi. Straight back to Wubben Moy, and it's now Casey McCabe. McCabe passes to Little. Kim Little now. What can she do? Pass back to Wubben Moy is the answer. And she passes again to Jen Beattie. And it's now with Steph Catley. Mead, tackled well by Cuthbert. And out goes the ball for a throw. Very quickly taken by Catley. And it's now with Catley once more. Catley doing very well to hold on to the ball. She crosses, but couldn't find either Mead or McCabe in time, and that was a missed opportunity by Catley to assist. And Kirby has gone down again. That might have been a challenge from Wubben Moy. Guro Wrighton upset at the fact that her teammate has gone down, and I think Anne-Catherine Berger's in trouble as well. Could a couple of hurt players be a change in shifts and fortunes for Arsenal? I think that might have been a whack to the head. Indeed, it was. Indeed, it was a whack to the face for Fran Kirby. And I think she might have also hurt her leg in the process as well. Clearly writhing about, clearly in pain. That looked very extreme on that one. And Anne-Catherine Berger's also being looked at by the physios as well, as is Millie Bright, trying to inject some energy into her leg. Millie Bright giving her legs a bit of a rub and a shake to get her blood levels flowing and everything moving. Berger calmly sipping a drink, and it looks as if another substitute for Arsenal is about to be made, or is it going to be a Chelsea substitute? We shall check. We shall see in a moment as Emily Heaslip gets ready to hold up the board, which she does. As number 19, Caitlin Ford comes on in place of Jen Beattie. Fran Kirby hobbling about on the pitch, clearly in some kind of pain. I think she needs to be taken off. But if she carries on like that, she'll be in worse pain than ever. Emma Hayes needs to make a decision, and fast. But we'll let you know what substitute decisions she'll make momentarily. It's still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2 after just coming up to 70 minutes. And the way things stand, it looks as though Chelsea will go on to win the Women's FA Cup. Play now resumes. As it's Leopold's tackled by Marnham. It's now Kim Little. Little passes to Steph Catley. Straight now to Noelle Maritz. Now gone to Lottie Wubben Moy. Wubben Moy tries to pass upfield towards Mead, which she does, and tries to find Mead, but nothing comes of it, unfortunately. 20 minutes to go before the end, and it is Chelsea still leading Arsenal by 2-0. Kim Little now with the ball for Arsenal. She passes to Wubben Moy. Wubben Moy Moy looking for someone to pass it to. She passes to Noelle Maritz, who passes back to her. Now it's been passed to Zinsberger. Quickly picked up by Katie McCabe. McCabe tries to cross to someone like Miedmar, but nothing comes of it. Deflected by Sam Kerr. Now picked up by Fran Kirby. I'm glad to see she's all right. Kirby goes for it and smacks off the post. Unlucky for her. It would have been Chelsea's third. How close can you get to scoring your club's third goal? She was completely unmarked. She was completely unmarked. The defenders didn't know she was there. And smacked right off the post. But that could have been Chelsea's third. And we've still got a couple of Chelsea fans commenting on this one. Chelsea all the way, says Aaron Russell, who we mentioned in the first half. And Aman Shukla says Chelsea. Well, my friends, it looks as though your wish might be about to come true. As Arsenal have just taken their throw in. It's now Catley towards Iwabuchi. Now back to Catley. Iwabuchi. Iwabuchi tries to find someone to pass it to. Almost passed to Caitlin Ford, but was quickly tackled by Millie Bryce, and it's now Sophie Ingle with the ball. Although proceedings have had to be called to a halt momentarily because a Chelsea substitution is about to be made, and it will be Peniel Harder. Peniel Harder, who will come on in place of Fran Kirby. This was the attempt at goal by Fran Kirby. This was the first goal by Fran Kirby. Only 3 minutes in, gets a congratulatory hug and a thank you from Emma Hayes. Peniel Harder comes onto the pitch. Her first recent start for Chelsea, having recently recovered from injury. It looks as though Wrighton had the ball momentarily as Arsenal have now got the ball with Kim Little. Kim Little now with the ball for Arsenal. She's running up towards the pitch, but deflected very well by Erin Cuthbert, and a goal, and another Tottenham goal in their game against Norwich. Son was the man who scored. And a very good deflection by Erin Cuthbert. That was very well timed to stop Caitlin Ford from getting too close to the ball, and it will be an Arsenal corner which is taken. Almost headed in by Wubben-Moy, but quickly saved by Anne-Katrine Berger. It looks as though the rain has stopped, but I have a feeling that the pitch will still be very damp and slippery. Maritz towards Iwabuchi. Now Katie McCabe. McCabe towards Ford, but quickly taken by Cuthbert. But it's gone out for a throw-in to be taken by McCabe. McCabe throws for Arsenal. Picked up by, I think that was Ford, and headed by Beattie. Now it's been caught by Sophie Ingle. Now Peniel Harder. Peniel Harder for Chelsea. Does very well to go around the defence. Can she score? No. She didn't aim the correct angle in my view, but she did very well to hold off the Arsenal defenders in my view. So I've got to give her credit for that. It's just her attempt at goal was poorly timed, and Manchester United have gone 1-0 up against Crystal Palace. Fred, the goal scorer on that occasion. Headed by Wrighton. but it's gone out for a throw, and it'll be taken by Noel Maritz. Pass to Jem Beattie. Now back to Maritz. Sorry, Wubben-Moy towards Zinsberger. Now caught by Beattie. Now it's with Iwabuchi, but tackled by Sam Kerr. Now it's Fleming. Fleming towards, was going towards Wrighton, but Arsenal picked it up. Beth Mead tries to pass towards Caitlin Ford, but Ingle and Eriksson were there to pick up the pieces when it mattered. Ingle passes to Katrin Berger, who clears it. Iwabuchi towards Marnham. Now it's Wrighton towards Sam Kerr. Sam Kerr for Chelsea. It's 3! She scored early on in the second half, and she's done it again. It looks as if the match will very much be Chelsea's. Emma Hayes ecstatic at this, as is her assistant. The Chelsea fans go balmy, as do the rest of the players. They're giving her hugs and pats on the back. I think Eriksson tries to hug her from behind. But it was actually Frank Kirby who it was actually Beattie or whoever it was that assisted Sam Kerr. Just lobbed it. Just did an excellent lob towards goal. I actually thought the ball was going to miss, but it went straight over Manuela Zinsberger's head, and one bounce after that, and straight into the net it went. Pride of London, says one of the Chelsea fans' banners. It looks as though they'll be the Pride of London now, and Emma Hayes' reaction says it all, just punching the air. But right now, and as things stand right now, Chelsea will go on to win. Arsenal aren't giving up without a fight, though. Kim Little tries to find Beth Mead, deflected by Eriksson. Now straight back to Mead again. Mead misses a chance at goal, but it was deflected by Ann-Katrin Berger, so it'll be a corner for Arsenal. I think that's probably the closest Arsenal have come to scoring all game. And it'll be Mead to take the corner, which she does. Deflected, headed away by Millie Brighton. It's now gone to Katie McCabe. But nothing comes of that one. And out it goes for a throw to be taken by the Republic of Ireland international. Jonas Edeval talking to Nikita Paris, who he may be about to bring on. I think he should have done so earlier, so as to give Arsenal more of a chance. And Stanley Measy says Chelsea FC all the way. So it appears that that on this stream we've had more Chelsea fans than Arsenal fans. And you're listening to the Commentary Hub 2, JLAC Football, JB Sports, Storm FM, and Worldwide Gooner Elites, as Nikita Paris comes on the field in place of Frida Marnham. As I mentioned in the halftime interval, experienced at winning both league and cup, having already done so with Manchester City. It doesn't look like she'll be winning in red though. And straight away she's committed a foul on somebody. Couldn't see who it was, and Helen Conley signaling her to come over. I think she's going to get straight into the book. Paris is protesting her innocence, but Conley is having none of it. And Nikita Paris, a yellow card straight away. What an impression to make after you've just come onto the pitch. Only to get a yellow card. It's Guro Wrighton who she fouled. Just came in with a poorly timed slide tackle to her to get into the book. That did look rather vicious in my view. And I think that yellow card was very well deserved, even though it didn't look like, even though there was no sense of malice in that one. And another Chelsea player is about to come on as a substitute. I think it might be Jonna Andersson. Just under 9 minutes to go. Arsenal 0, Chelsea 3. Although Pernille Harder looks like she was about to make it 4, but deflected very well by the Arsenal stopper, although they're not out of it yet. Kerr has the ball, but headed back towards Zinsberger. No further scores in today's Premier League matches as of yet. It is still Leeds United 1, Brentford 2, Tottenham 0, Tottenham 3, Norwich 0, and Manchester United still lead Crystal Palace by 1-0. Harder for Chelsea, almost caught by Fleming, who tried to send it into the nets, but she went the wrong way about it, unfortunately. Pernille Harder towards Fleming, but nothing came of that one. Iwabuchi to Little. Kim Little passes to Steph Catley, and it's now caught by Nikita Paris, but Jess Carter doing very well to defend, and almost picked up by Caitlin Ford, but a fraction too late, and there's a throw into Arsenal, quickly taken by Ford. McCabe to Wubben-Moy. Wubben-Moy passes back towards Little. And Little passes to Iwabuchi, and it's now with Nikita Paris. Back to Iwabuchi. Now Beth Mead. Quickly sent away by a Chelsea defender. I think that might have been Carter. Indeed, it was. 7 minutes on the clock left. Just coming up to 6.5. And it looks as though the trophy will be going to the west side of London. Arsenal still yet to have a shot on target. But it seems as though they can do absolutely nothing to even get themselves on the score sheets. They'll probably be lucky just to get away with a consolation. They'll probably be lucky just to leave with a consolation goal. Noelle Maritz passes to Manuela Zinsberger. Zinsberger passes to Beattie. Now it's back towards Zinsberger. Lottie Wubben-Moy now. Lottie Wubben-Moy passes to Mead, but it's now been picked up by Maritz. Maritz passes back to Lottie Wubben-Moy. And Wubben-Moy passes, but the ball's been picked up by Chelsea. Ingle tries to find Sam Kerr. She does. Kerr now with the ball for Chelsea, but knows that she was going to miss that one and quickly backs away. It was offside. It was offside. She knew when she was beaten, so she quickly backed away. And it looks as though 3 Chelsea players are about to be substituted. We'll let you know who they are shortly, as Caitlin Ford now has the ball for Arsenal. Deflected very well by Jess Carter. And it's now with Caitlin Ford. It was Miedemar. Miedemar tried to find an angle to send the ball in, but nothing was to come of it. And 3 Chelsea substitutes are about to be made, as it'll be Bethany England who will come on in place of Sam Kerr. Sam Kerr has been a star player during this match, in my view. Gets the congratulations, hugs and thank yous from her teammates. It looks as though Ji So-yeon and Drew Spence will also be coming on as well. Melanie Leopolds will be replaced by Ji So-yeon, and Guro Wrighton has come off in place of Drew Spence. We're just coming up to 4 minutes to go until full time, and now would be a good time to mention my player of the match, and it will be the recently substituted Sam Kerr. Sam Kerr gets my player of the match, as sponsored by Commentary Services. She has been excellent throughout this. She has been excellent throughout the game. Got the scores in when she needed to. As the youngster Taya, as a boy comes on for Arsenal. Very well handled. Now it's with Drew Spence and Boy. But Chelsea still managing to hold on. Throw in to be given to Chelsea, courtesy of Magda Eriksson, who throws to Bethany England. England does very well to hold on to that one. Maritz towards Simone Boy of Denmark. Now it's with Kim Little to Catley. Now back towards Katie McCabe. Headed by Jessie Fleming, but not for long though, as Drew Spence has been fouled. I think that might have been as a result of Katie McCabe already on a yellow card, remember. If she's not careful, she will be sent off. This is what happened. Straight into her chest there. That did look nasty. That looked pretty nasty, a knee to the chest. Very painful, but Drew Spence quickly back up on her feet. I think McCabe might have been given a final verbal warning. If she commits any more offences like this, she'll be sent off. Coming up to the 92nd mark, still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 3. Fleming passes to Cuthbert, and it's now gone straight back towards Fleming. Cuthbert again. I think she's looking. Ji So Young wants the ball to be passed to her, but it's actually been picked up by Millie Bright. Millie Bright crosses, and out goes the ball for another throw. Iwabuchi now with the ball for Arsenal. 1 minute of normal time remaining. It doesn't look as though Arsenal will be able to get anything out of this. Not even a consolation goal. Sam Kerr taking a well-deserved drink after being substituted. And this was why I picked her out as my player of the match. That nice little lob kick, that nice little lob kick towards goal. It left Manuela Zietsberger absolutely stunned. And an attempt towards the Arsenal goal has been dealt with by Manuela Zietsberger, and the ball has gone out for a throw. All I can say about Arsenal, despite the fact that they have challenged Chelsea a few times, I'd say they were nowhere. Ji So Young towards Spence. Now back towards G. Straight to Jessie Fleming. And 4 minutes have been added on. Arsenal have got 4 minutes to at least get a consolation goal out of this. I don't think they're going to be in with a chance of bringing the score down. Still Arsenal 0, Chelsea 3. You're listening to the Commentary Hub, and you can also hear us on the Commentary Hub too, JDAC Football, JB Sports, Storm FM, and Worldwide Gooner Elites. As England passes to Ingle. Ingle now finds Magda Eriksson. Eriksson tries to find England again, but quickly dealt with by the Arsenal defence. Now it's back with Ingle. Ingle towards Ji So-yeon, and it's full time between Tottenham Hotspur and Norwich City. The final score 3-0 as Fleming is now inside the 18-yard box, tries to find Pernille Harder, but nothing comes of it. Eriksson towards Ji So-yeon. Ji So-yeon goes around Simone Boyd. Now she's still holding on to the ball. Can she find someone to pass to? Yes, she can. Jess Carter tries to cross it to Bethany England, but nothing comes of it. And it'll be a goal kick to Arsenal. Manuela Zinsberger has been kept pretty busy throughout this game so far. Emma Hayes talking to her assistant manager with the clock ticking down, and players been stopped momentarily. Emma Hayes can sense that trophy already. Players resumed, and it's Arsenal in possession with Vivian Miedemar. Vivian Miedemar quickly tackled by Jess Carter, but she was able to hold on. I think she clutched her chest momentarily, but appears to be stunned. But I think she's all right. And Leeds have levelled against Brentford, and Patrick Bamford scored in the 90th minute. So it looks as if both sides will leave Ellen Road with a point apiece. As a corner has been given to Arsenal, Beth Mead with the corner straight towards Marina Iwabuchi. Iwabuchi dances around her in Cuthbert. She fires it into the 18-yard box, but Chelsea quickly see to that. Not for long though. Caitlin Ford crossed towards, sent out by Carter, and it's now back with Mead. Mead passes to Kim Little and finds Casey McCabe. Time is running out for Arsenal, and they know it. I think Emma Hayes and the Chelsea supporters want the whistle to blow now so they can start celebrating. And a throw-in has been taken by Chelsea with 30 seconds to go. It looks as if a last-minute substitute might be made. It's a bit late for that now. It's a bit pointless, really, to send somebody on to come on for just a few seconds. And the flag has gone up for substitution, and it will be number 3, Aniek Nerven, who's only just returned from injury, and this will be Bethany England to make way for her. Sophie Ingle. And we're now into the 94th minute. Why they decide to put Nerven on there is beyond me. But meantime, play still resumes. It looks as though we might be going overtime, or are we? Emma Hayes watching intently. I think she and the supporters just want the whistle to go and signal the end of the game. And there it goes. Chelsea have made a historic treble, the first time in the current Women's Super League era. They've won the league, they've won the League Cup, and now they've added the FA Cup to their tally in a truncated 2021 season. Hugs all round between the teams. Sam Kerr running back onto the pitch. The players are going absolutely berserk with joy. Magda Eriksson on there as well. So is Frank Kirby. Kerr high fives Ji So-yeon. The fans are happy with this one as well. For the first time in a long while, Arsenal's superiority on the pitch has been broken. Throughout this game, they were absolutely nowhere and couldn't even get a shot on target. The celebrations in West London are likely to go on until well into the night, and the fans are waving their flags proudly. They are going absolutely berserk with joy. What a finish to an FA Cup final on a day that commemorated history. Chelsea have made their own history. Final score for the Women's FA Cup final at Wembley Stadium: Arsenal 0, Chelsea 3.
Thank you, Nicholas, for what has been a fantastic commentary there of Chelsea's convincing victory over Arsenal. We'll be back with Nicholas in a moment for the trophy lift and the presentation, as well as Emma Hayes' Chelsea have won the 2021 Women's FA Cup against really what was a powder puff Arsenal side who, as Nicholas rightfully just mentioned, didn't even muster an attempt at target. So a real convincing performance there for Chelsea, but lots and lots of Arsenal players there that have really underperformed, and Chelsea players there really, loving the time here at the moment. They're running over to the fans. They're celebrating in front of their fans as well. But Chelsea thoroughly deserved 3-0 victors. Probably only Zinsberger can get any credit at all from an Arsenal point of view for keeping the score down to the 3 when Chelsea had, all of the chances that they had, and Arsenal weren't able to even test the Chelsea keeper at all. So in this FA Cup final, the Women's FA Cup final, Chelsea have progressed through to win 3-0 and to lift the cup. As you see the Arsenal manager there, he's got a huddle of all this squad there. And he's got his arms wide open, and I think he's saying, "Well, what was that? If you don't muster a shot on target, then you've got absolutely no chance." So Chelsea there thoroughly deserved of their comfortable win. And Nicholas there, Sam Kerr was your player of the match, and what a performance from her! 2 goals, and well, she was outstanding, wasn't she? Really.
Yes, she was more than outstanding. She was a demon in front of goal. Was able to pick her chances and just send that ball in. When she came close, when she came to scoring that third one, she was completely unmarked by Lottie Woman-Moy. They didn't know she was there, and Kerr was just able to pick her moment when it mattered. She was recently on international duty with Australia, but she was fit and well enough to play, and did it show.
Absolutely there. As you see, Emma Hayes just going through some instructions with her team as well, as Sam Kerr is just going to do some media work there. But Fran Kirby obviously gave Chelsea the early lead as well after, I believe it was 3 minutes, and it was, from there on in, really, it was Chelsea's afternoon all the way through. And thoroughly deserved victory, as I rightfully mentioned just a moment ago. Plenty of Chelsea comments as well, and comments in the chat, which is nice to see. We've had quite a lot of interaction today, which is great. Tyrone saying, "Let's go Chelsea." Aaron Russell saying Chelsea all the way. Stanley saying Chelsea all the way as well. Chenga saying, "Well done, the Blues." And Carol has been quite vocal as well, saying Nikita Paris is only entertaining in her interviews, and the training levels between the two teams is a joke. Arsenal is entry level, whereas Chelsea put in a real Olympic performance. And we also have messages from Alusola saying the score as well, saying I think they're Chelsea fan, and Chenga as well saying Chelsea up the Blues. So lots of Chelsea fans in the chat, and they're all very, very happy as well, as you can imagine.
And so they should be, Mike. So they should be. They might not have been able to make it to the stadium, but they'll be celebrating hard at home, I am sure.
Absolutely. And we had another comment there saying congrats to Chelsea from Stanley as well, Stanley Mezzi. So more messages coming through, which is great to see. I'm just going to have a look at Twitter as well. There was quite a lot of Arsenal fans on Twitter. Obviously, the fact that I follow Arsenal, so I put a message in, and there was a comment on one of my messages from the guy called Simon Richardson. Arsenal never turned up, unfortunately. Has BT won a raffle to play in this final? I've seen milk turn quicker. Pub team defending, no one in the back four can keep up with the pace of Kirby and Kerr. So quite a bold statement there from Simon, saying that he's seen milk turn quicker than Jen Beattie. And did she win a raffle to play in the final? I'm sure she was there on merit, but it's very bold and an interesting statement to say the least.
I'd have to completely disagree with Simon because Jen Beattie is a really good quality player. Represents her country at international level. So to have unfortunately, even though she didn't score, she did provide. She was instrumental in helping out her teammates, as were the likes of Erin Cuthbert, the captain Magda Eriksson, and also Millie Bright. So to say milk turn quicker than Jen Beattie is perhaps a bit too harsh.
Yeah, it's quite a harsh one. Obviously, Jen Beattie plays for Arsenal, which is the Arsenal centre back. As there's a message there saying, "Millie Bright, you're my hero," from one of the Chelsea fans there, which is quite a nice touch.
Sorry, I only just remembered I was actually talking about Jessie Fleming rather than Jen Beattie. So
Jessie Fleming was. I thought she was good for Chelsea. I thought all of these Chelsea players were very, very good. Sam Kerr, Jessie Fleming. There was, of course, Fran Kirby. They all played their part really in this victory. And from Arsenal, that Arsenal have to look at this. And Viv Miedemar didn't get an attempt at goal, really was marked out of the game, didn't get anything, to feed on at all. Obviously, Katie McCabe was another one that was really, kept out of the game and kept quiet by Chelsea as well. Just seeing there, Kim Little as well, another one. So there was plenty of players there for Arsenal, but none of them actually really got a sniff, this afternoon. And it is Arsenal going to be making their way up first to collect the runners-up medals. But, Arsenal really were powder puffed, to say the least, to be fair. They were really poor up against this Chelsea side who just ran away with it. And with the quality that Arsenal have got, it's disappointing, to say the least, from their point of view anyway.
I have to say yes. Very disappointing. They didn't show the quality that they had all the way back in the quarterfinals. But to see them lose out like that, I would have expected better from a club like Arsenal. They weren't all that strong defensively. Their attacks were weak, and talking of Katie McCabe, she did get into a few scrapes every so often, and could well have been sent off had she committed more.
Yeah, 100%. She was a bit fortunate. The officials have just collected their medals, so I'm going to hand back to you now, as Arsenal are going to go up and collect their runners-up medals before Chelsea go and lift the trophy.
Thanks, Mike. The Arsenal players now getting ready to receive their medals. Just having a look at Beth Mead as she walks on to receive her medals. Members of the FA, as are the two captains of Southampton and Stuart and Thistle way back in 1971. They're ever present, are also present as well. The Arsenal players taking their medals. They walk away looking very disconsolate, despite receiving the high fives and the shakes of the hand from the team. I think Aniek Nurven giving one of them a bit of a hug, which is nice to see. So it's now back to the drawing board for the Gunners as they prepare to carry on with their league season. Jonas Edeval also looking very disconsolate as he trudges back to the sides of the pitch. So with Arsenal now having received their medals, we'll have Chelsea come forward to collect their medals and the trophy. in just a few moments' time. As I mentioned, as I've already mentioned, on such a historic day commemorating the 100th anniversary of the women's game being banned, and as I speak right now, Emma Hayes picking up her winner's medal, as indeed are the Chelsea players. They're coming forward. Sophie Ingle getting into a bit of a tussle with her medal with Jess Carter, having some difficulty in extracting it. Fran Kirby comes up to receive hers as well. The early goal scorer after only 3 minutes, Sam Kerr as well, deservedly player of the match, kisses the medal, has every right to, and the rest of the players now coming up to pick their medals up as well. I think there was a bit of showboating going on behind Anne-Katrin Berger. One or two of the players having a laugh and a joke as the reserve goalkeeper Zachira Masovic picks up her medal, as does Millie Bright as well, and Katrin Berger, and finally the captain Magda Eriksson, who will be the player to take the trophy. Has a bit of difficulty extracting her medal, finally does it, and this is the moment we've all been waiting for, the trophy lift. She walks up to her players as they get ready to lift the trophy. Chelsea, the winners of the Vitality Women's FA Cup 2021. Blue is the colour, football is the game, so goes the song, and they've certainly painted the town blue this afternoon on a day that commemorates history. They have well and truly made their own history by becoming the first club to win both the League Cup and the FA Cup in the modern Women's Super League era. I think everyone just wants a piece of the trophy. The fireworks are going as well. The fans are going crazy. Fran Kirby now takes hold of the trophy as well. They all just want to have a go. They all just want to have a go at holding it as well. Eriksson gives it a kiss. I think she's trying to offer it to Drew Spence or somebody. Everyone will get a hold of it in good time. And meantime, up it goes thanks to Peniel Harder, and the flags are waving, and the fans are going to go crazy. This, I think, will be the start of one very big party. Chelsea, your winners of the Vitality Women's FA Cup 2021.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. Fantastic coverage there of the Women's FA Cup final as Chelsea are victorious by 3-0 over Arsenal women. We'll be back tomorrow for some more FA Cup coverage from the men's game, where it's Boreham Wood and St Albans in action for you to see which sides can progress through to the third round. That's on all of the Commentary Hub channels, apart from Commentary Hub 2, which is going to have Everton against Arsenal in the male side of the game, to see whether the men can do anything different to the women and can get themselves a win over Everton this weekend. But, of course, we've got some other action in the week as well. We've got Champions League action in the week as well. I'm going to be covering a game on Wednesday. So we're going to leave it there. But I want to just quickly say, again, thank you very much to Nicholas for his coverage today. And I'll leave you with that last comment there, Nicholas, as well. You can chip in and just end it with that one.
Yes, absolutely. And just as you were talking, I just saw Sam Kerr for a moment, quickly covered in ticker tape there. That was just so funny. It made me laugh. And but as already our player of the match, and deservedly so.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much, Nicholas. And I'll let you go and get yourself warm now. Get yourself something to eat and a nice cup of tea. So thank you for a fantastic coverage. It's Chelsea that have completed the treble. It's League Cup, and now FA Cup for the Blues. Arsenal back to the drawing board for them. Beaten 3-0 and convincingly so by Chelsea, and it's them that lift the Women's FA Cup. Thank you for listening to the Commentary Hub, JDAC Football, JB Sports, Storm FM, Twitter, Twitch, and also the Worldwide Gooner Elite channel as well. We'll be back for some more action tomorrow from the male side of the FA Cup to see whether it's Boreham Wood or St Albans evening. But once again, thank you to Nicholas for a great coverage. And thank you to everyone that has tuned in. Plenty of you in the chat as well. So hope you've enjoyed the coverage this afternoon and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. But for now, thank you for listening. It's Chelsea's afternoon. They are winners of the Women's FA Cup, winning it 3-0.